You want to know something about me that most people don't know? Whenever I was in 6th grade, I was in a car accident. Numerous different universal gears turned that day, however you want to put it. But essentially, my stepmom called my mom, says, hey, I'm going to pick up Charlotte, I'm going to pick up Brian. Charlotte's my older sister. We're going to go whatever it was. I don't know, Six Flags, park, movies. Basically, we're going to go do something. My mom really didn't have anything for us kids to do anyways. It was her weekend. Sure, yeah, come pick them up. So Kelly pulls up to my mom's. Kelly was a very rule, everything's got to be fair orientated person. So according to the calendar, it was my day to sit in front. And imagine this is a, I don't know, 90s Explorer. It was my turn to sit up in the front passenger seat. Well, the rule is if someone's already sitting in the front passenger seat, which Jimmy was, which is my stepbrother, that to make it fair, you play paper, rock, scissors, best out of 3. So I lost to that. So my next spot was by the window, the middle seat. So Charlotte was already to the far left. I wanted to sit by the window, but Bridget, which liked the wind, didn't like sitting in the center because of the seatbelt. She got to be by the window, that way it was fair. So I got to sit in the center. Well, not too far down the road, because it started raining, or it just stopped raining, either way. Due to a puddle of water, the Explorer ended up hydroplaning, either way, and got into incoming traffic on this back road. And there was a moving truck, ended up not like a full-size semi, but like a typical UPS truck, came and actually ended up not exactly T-boning, but it ended up hitting the front right corner of the Explorer. Numerous different series of stuff happened. My brain doesn't actually remember this happening. This is all just a story that I was told, the articles and stuff that I've read, because the doctor said that my brain's locked us away because what I saw, the doctor said your brain doesn't, you don't want to remember what you saw. So from what I'm told, my stepsister Bridget passed away at the scene of the accident, whether that was right away or shortly after, I'm not for sure. By the time the paramedics got there and the emergency personnel, essentially they got me out, they got other people out. From what I'm told, Jimmy passed away in the air vac helicopter. From what I'm told, I believe I flatlined and they brought me back, and whenever they brought me back, I actually ended up slipping into a coma. Shortly after, right after, however, but essentially I was in a coma for a while. And when I woke up from the coma, my brain also, I really don't remember much whenever I first snapped out of it, because it was about a week, give or take some days. During that time, the doctor told my mom and dad that they wasn't for sure if I was going to be able to make it, if I was going to make it, or if I did make it, I might be a vegetable. I might not have any usage or a whole right side of my body because the left side of my brain got bruised in the accident. Well, my brain rerouted, reprogrammed, whatever you want to call it, but essentially booted up one day, rebooted, whatever you want to call it. And the first thing I remember is I was being tended to from my nurse, and her name was Juanita. I didn't know that at the time, because essentially the scrawny little boy that I was, my brain turned on, and I was being, she was taking care of me, checking my tubes, whatever you want to call it, and my brain turned on, and all of a sudden I just saw this lady above me. I didn't know what was going on, because once again I was in 6th grade, So either way, so I flip out, whatever, and then my brain slips back and I pass back out, go back into coma, whatever. So from what I'm being told, though, is that either right before that, the day before, or right after, my dad was actually standing next to the bed, because my dad and mom's, they traded off and on depending on who could take off work or whatever, to make sure someone was always there in my room in case I did wake up. And one of the times I woke up, once again, I don't remember if it was the first time or the time after what I just explained, but essentially I looked over and I saw my dad. My dad was drinking coffee, because basically all the males in my family drink coffee all the time. That's what we do. We don't smoke, we don't drink, we drink coffee. And apparently I looked at him, smiled, and asked him for a drink of coffee. Even though the doctor said, if he asks for anything or whatever, tell us, don't give him anything or whatever, because we're monitoring everything. My dad gave me a sip of coffee, and he said, because my son's been in a coma for about a week, and if your son's been in a coma for a week and wakes up, smiles at you and asks for coffee, you give him a drink of coffee. So he gave me a little bit of coffee, and apparently I smiled at him or something like that again, and I rolled over and passed back out, went to sleep, whatever. Either way, that gave him a glimmer of hope. At that moment, he knew that the consciousness of his son was still in the brain, whether it was going to come back all the way or not. He knew the fact that I asked for coffee gave him more hope than any of the doctors that was telling him this or that. So either way, kind of cut the story a little shorter, is I come in, come out, and I end up, my brain ends up turning on all the way, and I can't use the right side of my body. So doctor put me in physical therapy. I'm trying this, trying that, and after about a 3-4 weeks, basically a month, I end up being able to feel stuff in my right side of my body. I end up being able to move stuff in my right side of my body, which amazes the doctors that literally didn't think I was going to be able to even use my right side of my body, or even if I was, be able to use it the way I was already. So essentially what they tell me is that my brain essentially rewired or recircuited or repassed itself to relearn or to learn new paths of how to utilize the right side of my body. So you can't really see it on the camera. Once again, months worth of physical therapy. But the only thing I really can't do anymore is the whole right side of my face, right around here, like even right now. I've learned how to control it. You can't really tell, but if I let that control out, the right side of my mouth basically doesn't open up all the way unless I really focus on it, which on a regular basis I do. Like right now, I'm controlling it. I know what to do. It's just second nature. But if I forget or whatever, or sometimes early morning, if I'm not really thinking about it, the right side of my mouth doesn't open up all the way. Other than that, I've regained total control. I can walk, I can talk. Both sides of my body work. I can talk, I can eat, I can write. I was right-handed before the accident. I'm actually I think it's ambidextrous. Basically, I can use my right hand, left hand now, because for about a month after my brain turned back on or whatever, I used my left hand exclusively because my right hand didn't work at all. Whole right side of my body didn't work. So I can actually write with my right and left. I relearned how to use my right side of my body. So I'd rather write with my right side of my body because it actually works better. If I need to, I can actually, if I'm by like two computers or something like that, I can type with my left hand and type with my right hand on a different keyboard if need be. Obviously not as fast if I had both, hands going or whatever. But anyways, that's something a lot of people don't know about me. So now you know. Add something in the comment section that people don't know about you. You can state your name. You don't have to say your whole name. Just state your first